Hello everyone and welcome to day 15 of our 28 days of Yoga with Kirstie series. Now today's is flexibility for splits. So the clue's kind of in the title, but today we're going to be focusing on stretching and strengthening certain parts of our body that's going to help with our splits. Now you can use props if you have them nearby. I do recommend using something like a yoga brick or a couple of books if you can, maybe some pillows towards the end, so you can trial your splits and see where you are at the moment. If we do have some props, we can place them underneath our legs and basically bring the floor up to our legs or wherever we are. And if you don't need them, fab, but they're always nice to have. So as per usual, grab your water, have it nearby, lay out your mat and bring yourself to a comfortable position in comfy clothing that you're ready to stretch out in. I recommend making sure you're really warm to start with, or at least have warm clothing on, as the warmer your muscles are, the easier the practice will be. Easier in quotation marks. Without further ado, let's get moving so we can start getting ready for our splits. Hi guys, so coming to your nice comfortable seated position today, whatever that is for you. I've gone for the easy seated pose, so our cross-legged position. And close the eyes if you fancy, keep them open if that's better for you today, and let your hands go wherever feels good. So I've opted for palms towards the ceiling, but you can hug onto the knees of the hands, you can place them in your lap. You can go for a mudra of any kind, but maybe chin mudra, so the thumb and the index finger touching. And just close the eyes and breathe. So breathing into the balloon in our bellies and exhaling, releasing. We're just going to take a few breaths, and that's all we're doing right now. Breathing in through the nose, maybe out through the nose or the mouth. Maybe it's a sigh, maybe it's our golden thread breath. If you're doing the golden thread breath, it's a pinprick of a gap between the lips and just gently blowing a gentle web of air. Good. So as you're breathing in and breathing out, however feels right for you today, just softly shutting those eyes if they're not already. And really just giving your body and mind the time to arrive here for your practice. And by that I mean you may have just rushed to the mat to get going with your yoga practice. You may have had a really busy day and not actually taken the time to focus in on you. How does your breath sound? How does your breath feel? Is it easy for you to sit here and breathe in and out, or is it challenging? Maybe it's physically challenging. Maybe you're exhausted today. Maybe your mind is racing. But just acknowledging those things, trying not to place any judgment. It's fine to be however you are. Just noticing how you are today. Just breathing in and breathing out. And spending a little bit of time just tuning into you. Nice deep breaths in and long, slow breaths out if that feels right for you. Now I'd like us to just take some time to really notice how our energy levels are today. Maybe you've just woken up, maybe it's the end of the day, or maybe somewhere between the two. Maybe you're ready and you're full of energy, so you're a 10 out of 10 today. Or maybe you're ready for bed. Maybe you've just got out of bed but can't wait to go back in, and perhaps your energy is rather low. And that's fine. Just noticing where you're at now and maybe letting that affect your practice today. Maybe you feel like you want to preserve some energy to help you throughout the rest of the day if you've still got that ahead of you. Or maybe you're feeling like you need to get rid of some energy to exert some of it so you're feeling in a calmer place. So we're just breathing in and we're breathing out. Just taking the time now to acknowledge where we're at today. And know wherever we are is absolutely fine for us to be. Just breathing in and breathing out. Good. And then maybe today we do a gentle and fairly quick body scan from the toes all the way up the feet to the ankles. So we're slowly working up our body, but I'd like you to notice each and every area. Maybe it's just bringing your attention to it, or perhaps it's finding a little bit of movement. But I'd like you to notice how each of these areas feel right now as we've just arrived at our mats. From the ankles all the way up to the knees. From the knees all the way up to the glutes, the hips and the pelvis. The lower back and the belly. The mid-back, the upper back and the chest. The shoulders down to those fingertips. The wrists all the way to the elbows and up to the shoulders again. The neck and the face and anywhere in between. How are you feeling today? Just breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. And I'd like you to try and keep this awareness in your body throughout the practice. So trying not to force ourselves into anywhere our body is not happy going today. Just honoring it for where you are today, and that's fine. There's always time to come back to this practice if you need to. So when you're ready, take a nice big inhale and a long slow exhale. And then gently peel the eyes open. Okay, so we're going to take a nice big breath in and scoop arms up overhead as if having a nice big yawn in the morning. Option to interlace the fingers and turn the hands up if you fancy today, your choice. And as you exhale, gently release the hands all the way down either side of your body. Walking the left hand towards the left side of the room, scooping the right hand up and over as we lean over towards the left. So just breathing in and breathing out. So your gaze here can be straight ahead, can be down towards the hand on the mat, or we can look up towards the ceiling, your choice. If you want to find a bit of movement here, you are more than welcome to. Maybe it's a little bit of a sway. Maybe you want to take that right arm up over the head and bend into the elbow, turning the palm to the back of the room, scooping it behind your back. So just breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. And when you're ready, inhale, gently peeling all the way back up, lovely and tall. So we're going to slowly go the opposite way. So when you're ready, walking the right hand away from you, scooping the left hand up and over as we lean towards the right. So just breathing in and breathing out. So I'm realizing now I may not have worn the best clothing, but I'm nice and warm. So hopefully you can still hear me okay. So again, maybe we're looking towards the ground, maybe straight ahead, or maybe up towards the ceiling, towards the arm, up ahead. Maybe we find a bit of movement here. Maybe we turn the palm away from us, bend through the elbow and bring the hand behind the back. Whatever your body's needing from you, let's do that today. And we're just going to breathe in and breathe out for a little bit longer. Good. We're noticing that stretch down the side of our bodies. One more breath. And when you're ready to inhale, gently bring yourself all the way back to seated, nice and tall. Shake it out, adjust yourself as much as you need to. So let's get some more fire going on in our bodies. So we're going to slightly bring more movement in and work through some sun salutations. So hands come underneath the knees and let's roll over onto all fours today. So hands are stacked underneath those shoulders and the knees are under the hips. And maybe we sway like I'm doing. I'd like you to just really look into those fingers or look at the fingers and really spread them lovely and wide, like we're high-fiving the ground. We're covering as much space as we can. Gripping into those fingertips, we're spreading the weight across the whole of the hand and not just at the base of the wrist. Good, coming to stillness when you're ready. As we inhale, gently rocking forwards and then back. So just forwards and back. Make sure we breathe out too. We're not just breathing in. Good. And then maybe we rock to the side. And then the other one. Still breathing in and breathing out. Maybe we draw some circles around the wrists with the fingertips still pointing forwards. Gripping through those fingertips, helping to place the palms on the ground, especially the knuckles. So that's where the focus is, the fingertips, the knuckle area, and the edges of the wrist. Good. Then maybe we turn the fingertips towards the edges of the mat and do any sways or movement that feels good here. Maybe even rising up onto the fingertips in some way. Maybe we turn the fingertips towards the knees, maybe one at a time or both together. And just noticing what's happening here in our bodies today. Any other wiggles you need, maybe turning palms up towards the ceiling in some way. Let's do that today. We're just breathing in and we're breathing out. Good. Okie dokie, when you're ready, coming back to center, back to stillness. We're going to do my classic cat-cow here, as it's one of my favorites to do, and your spine will love you for it. So as we inhale, the belly lowers down towards the ground and we look up. As we exhale, tuck the chin in towards the chest, round through the spine and look back towards the toes. Inhale, the belly lowers and we look up. Exhale, rounding through. Good. One more with your breath. So as you breathe in, the belly lowers. And as you exhale, we round through. Good. As we inhale, come all the way back to your neutral tabletop position. Tucking those toes underneath you and slowly setting the tailbone nice and high, coming to our downward dog of today. Really gripping through those fingertips so we're feeling the ground and the weight being distributed across the whole of the hand. Any movements you need to find, please do. And then when you're ready, come to stillness. As we inhale, bend into those knees, look to the fingertips and slowly walk the feet towards the hands. Coming to our forward fold of today. So bending through those knees to start with, let the head be heavy. We're just going to sway side to side if it feels good. Maybe we grab onto opposite elbows with our hands. Just breathing in, breathing out. Good, so letting the head be heavy here. So we're feeling that stretch in the lower back. The legs can be as bent as you need them to be. I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret here. The more bent the knees are, the more of a release you're going to get in that lower back right now. Good, coming all the way back to center when you're ready, back to stillness. Release the hands to the ground. And as you take a nice big inhale, slowly peel all the way up to standing. Vertebrae by vertebrae, and head's the very last thing to come up. Shoulders back and down when you get to the top. Turn the palms to the front. Breathe in and sigh out. Good. Okay, as we inhale, scoop hands up overhead, looking to those fingertips. As you exhale, prayer hands or swan dive as we lower down towards the ground. Good. As you inhale, hands to shins, find your flat backs this morning. Exhale, fold forwards, hands to the mat, step, hop or jump back to your planks today. Good, so the heels are pushing towards the back of the mat, crown of the head's reaching to the top. As we exhale, option to lower the knees down. Keep the elbows hugged in as we lower down towards the ground. Option to hover here or lower all the way down. Inhale to your choice of back bend today. As you exhale, tuck the chin in towards the chest, set the tailbone high, coming all the way to your downward facing dog. So we're breathing in and we're breathing out. And just letting the body guide us through our down dogs for a few more breaths today, waking up the body. Every breath we take, we wake up a little bit more in some way, some form. Good. One more breath. And come back to stillness when you're ready. Inhale, bend into the knees, look towards the fingertips, step, hop or jump the feet to the hands. And inhale, hands to shins, find your flat back. Exhale, we fold forwards, hands towards the ground, and inhale, we rise nice and tall. Scoop hands up overhead, looking to the fingertips, and exhale, hands through heart center in prayer. Release the hands either side of the hips. Take a nice deep breath in, and sigh out. Good, we're going to go around our sun salutation B now. So check that the feet are about hip width wide. But if you're more comfortable in your chair pose, keeping the big toes touching and the heels slightly apart, you're welcome to do that. For me, I prefer the placement of my knees directly over the ankles and in line with the second and third toe, if I've got that bit of a gap between the feet. So as we inhale, let's scoop hands up overhead, and exhale, bend through the knees, sending the tailbone back. Option to bring hands to heart center here if it's more comfortable for you in the shoulders, or reach them straight ahead. Breathe in, and exhale, we lower all the way down, straightening those legs, maybe taking a few sways here as we bend into one knee and straighten the opposite leg. Good. Nice. As we inhale, hands to shins, find your flat backs. Exhale, fold forwards, hands to the ground. Keep the left foot where it is and step back with the right one, coming to a lunge position. Lower the back knee to the mat. As we inhale, we're scooping hands up overhead, looking to the fingertips and sink the hips down. Good. Inhale. We frame that front foot. Tuck the back toes under and lift the knee up off the mat. Step the front foot to the back of the mat, coming to our plank position. Heels push towards the back, crown of the head to the front. Option to lower knees down. As we exhale, we lower down towards the ground. Keep the elbows hugged in. Option to lower all the way down. Inhale to your back bend of choice. Exhale, chin to chest, all the way back to our downward facing dog. Good. Weight into that left foot as we peel the right foot towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. As you exhale, bring the knee towards the nose and place the foot between the hands. As you breathe in, ride on that inhale all the way up, nice and tall, rising high, warrior one, or high lunge. As we exhale, we're going to frame that front foot. Front foot joins back in plank. Exhale, we lower down, option to lower knees, option to hover. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, chin to chest, all the way back to down dog. Take a nice deep breath in. Weight into that right foot as we peel the left foot towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the knee to the nose and place the foot between the hands. Rise up on that inhale, nice and tall, riding high. Good. As we exhale, frame that front foot. Front foot joins back in plank. Good. Exhale, we lower down through our chaturanga. Inhale to our back bend. Exhale, chin to chest, all the way back to our down dog. Walk it out here. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. So we're in our resting down dog now. If you want to come to child's pose or to tabletop, you're welcome to. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer now. Good. So it's quite a fast pace there, but I wanted to get you warm quickly. So just seeing how the body's feeling now. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Okie dokie, guys. So when you're ready, come back to stillness. As we inhale, we bend into the knees towards the fingertips. Keep the left foot at the back of the mat and step forwards with the right one. Good. Lower the left knee to the mat, untuck the toes. As we inhale, we're rising up nice and tall with those hands and sinking the hips down. So you feel that stretch in the hips a little bit more. Good. As we exhale, we frame that front foot. Back toes tuck under. We peel the knee up off the mat and step the left foot to the top of the mat, coming to our forward fold. Good. Inhale, hands to shins, find your flat back. Exhale, we fold forwards, hands to the mat, bend through the knees as we rise up through chair pose. Arms wherever is comfortable. Big breath in, sigh out. And inhale, we breathe up, pushing through the feet, hands reach up overhead, looking to fingertips. And exhale, lower hands through heart center in prayer. Release the hands either side of the hips. Take a nice deep breath in and a sigh out. Good, okay. Inhale, scoop hands up overhead, looking to the fingertips. Exhale, prayer hands or swan dive, make your way down towards the ground. Weight into that left foot as we step the right foot back again. Lower the back knee to the mat and we're rocking forwards and back through our runner's lunge and our half splits. So walking forwards and then bending in. We're just breathing in and breathing out with our natural breath. Now, if you want to pause, you're welcome to. If you want to play with not using your hands to support you and just using your muscle here, or muscles, you're welcome to. Keep the hands lifted. Oh, nice click. I don't know if that came through for you. So clicks are okay. It's just our liquid moving around in our bodies. So just noticing what's going on for you and pausing where you feel you need to. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to spend a little bit of time here today on each side just because it's quite important for our splits. It helps us to find that flexibility in our hamstrings and in the hips. Good. So breathing in, breathing out. Just seeing what's happening for you. And we're going to take a little bit longer before we move along to the other side, do a few more stretches, and slowly making our way towards splits today. Good. As we inhale, let's send the weight towards the heel. So we're sitting our bottoms onto the heel, taking a nice deep breath in, and a long, slow breath out. Good. And then walking yourselves so the weight goes into that left foot, hands to the top of the mat, frame the front foot. Back toes tuck under, lift the knee up off the ground, and step the back foot to the top of the mat, coming to forward fold again. So just breathing in and breathing out. Nice. Okay, from here, weight into the right foot as we step the left foot to the back of the mat. Lower the knee down, untuck the toes, and rocking forwards and back again in our half splits and runner's lunge. Good, so just breathing in and breathing out. Nice. Okay, so taking as many breaks as you need to, or pausing at any places you feel is beneficial for you in your body today. And just noticing what's going on. So you might be moving a lot more than me. You might be sitting up higher than I am. Maybe your arms aren't even touching your feet or your legs, and we're rocking forwards and back. Maybe you found another place you want to go to. Maybe we've come into some sort of side bend of some form. Whatever your body's needing you to do, we're just exploring the movements in bending that front knee and then lengthening that leg. And if there's anything else you want to throw in, do it. It's totally okay. It's your own practice, but we're just stretching the legs and any parts of the body that feel like they want to here. So we've got a little bit longer to explore before we all come together on a nice big stretch forwards and back. So just see what's happening for you today. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Okay. So if you're towards the top of your mat, slowly exhale and send your bottom towards your heel. And just take a few moments to breathe here in your half splits. Maybe we're upright and we're finding a straight back here. Maybe the toes are pointed, maybe they're flexed. But we're just finding wherever we need to be. Good. Okay, as we next inhale, we're bending into that front knee, placing the weight into that front foot and framing the front foot. Tucking the back toes under, peeling the knee up off the ground. We're going to send the front foot to the back, coming to down dog. So sending the bottom nice and high. Wiggling around here as much as you feel you need to. Good. As you next exhale, lower the knees down to the mat. Swing the feet one way as you walk the hands the opposite way as we come to a forward fold position. Good. Okay, forward fold. Toes towards the nose. Inhale, we lift and lengthen hands up overhead. Look to the fingertips. And I'd like you to really feel like you are sinking the bottom back. So we're pushing our sitting bones back and the chest is opening up here. As we exhale, we're folding forwards and trying to keep as straight and low a spine as possible. So we're not rounding through to try and reach the feet. We're sitting up tall. Good. So let's take 2 more breaths where we are, and then we're going to add some movement in. Good. Okay, when you're ready, inhale, slowly peeling all the way back up. So one of my favorite things to do is imagine that we are trains. So I like to describe this in my classes as choo-choo train. So as we inhale, we're scooping hands up overhead. As you exhale, fold forwards, trying to reach towards the feet, and inhale all the way back up. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale up. So take as many rounds as you feel you need to here. If you want to find stillness at any point, you're welcome to. But just pausing or finding that movement and seeing what's happening in the body. The toes still reaching towards the nose as it really does stretch the backs of the legs here. Just breathing in and breathing out. Good. Let's take 2 more breaths. Lovely. Okay, as you inhale next, slowly peeling yourself all the way back up to seated, nice and tall. So we're going to do one leg at a time now. So slowly bending into that left knee, bring it towards your chest. Allow the sole of the foot to come to the inside of that right thigh. As we inhale, we lift and lengthen, hands up. Option to do choo-choo train here or just fold forwards. As you exhale, reach towards the feet. Good. Option to pause again or find your movement if you need to. Let the head be heavy, maybe even close the eyes here if it feels good for you. We're just going to breathe in and breathe out. Maybe we find a bit of movement in the feet, the toes pointing and flexing. Exploring the different movements. So it's all well and good me telling you why we do things, but sometimes it's nice to discover it in your body. So maybe try doing the opposite to what I say sometimes. So if I say flexed feet, maybe try pointing the toes just to see how it feels different in the body. So just nice deep breaths, a couple more. If you're finding your movement, fab. If you found stillness, amazing. If you want to switch it around, that's fine. One more breath. And as you next inhale, peeling all the way back up to seated, lovely and tall. So we're going to take a few moments to try a different variation on this same leg. So if this is within your abilities at the moment, you can try this. Otherwise, just stay with your leg where it is. So what we can do is lean over to the right side and try and wrap that left leg behind us so that the knee is sort of in line with our hip. The foot can tuck closer towards the bottom if you want it to, or we can keep it with the toes pointing towards the left side. Up to you what feels better. As we inhale, we're lifting, lengthening hands to the ceiling, and exhale, folding forwards again. I'm just going to pause here for 3 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Last one. And when you're ready to inhale, walk yourself all the way up to seated, nice and tall. Shift the weight to the right as we bring the back leg back to the front and shake the legs out. Maybe point and flex the feet. Good. Switching it over. So the right knee comes in towards our chest. Allow the right sole of the foot to come onto the inside of the left thigh. Again, if you want to do choo-choo train or find movement of any form, then please feel free to. Inhale, scoop hands up overhead, looking to the fingertips. And exhale, folding forwards, reaching ahead. Good, so you might decide you want to relax the hands if you found stillness. Maybe release them to the mat either side of the leg. Maybe you want to create a little pillow for yourself on your leg in some way. Maybe pointing and flexing the feet again, or maybe drawing some circles. But be mindful of the movement you're doing. Does it actually feel good for you? Let the head be heavy. And just see what's going on. Good. We're going to take a few more breaths. Anything you need to do, please feel free to do. Good. So one more breath. And when you're ready, the next inhale, gently peeling yourself all the way up to seated, lovely and tall. Time to do the opposite leg if you fancy. If you want to keep it where it is, that's fine. So shifting the weight over to the left as we swing the right foot around the back in whatever way is comfortable for you. As we inhale, hands up towards the ceiling, look to the fingertips, and exhale, fold towards the extended left leg. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. Option to walk yourself a little bit closer to center if that feels better for you and your body. You'll still get the same stretch, so don't worry about that. Just breathing in, breathing out, and seeing what's happening for you. Where are you feeling this stretch? Is it comfortable for you? Do we need to find a bit more movement? Maybe we're not really rounding forwards. Maybe we're a little bit taller, but we still get that same stretch. So sometimes keeping a nice straight back actually helps you to have a deeper version of the stretch than trying to round through. So the way I'm doing it now, I can't feel it at all in my body if I'm rounding. But if I'm up here, oh my gosh, it's all the way back here. So honor your body. If you can't fold forwards, then don't feel like that's you not doing the pose. Sometimes you get more out of it, finding that length through the body. So explore that too. So we're going to take one more breath here. And as you exhale, walk the hands towards the left as you take the weight to the left side, swinging the back leg around and shake it out. Good. Okie doke, so we're going to do one more leg stretch here. So you can stay where you are, I just haven't got the room here. I'm slightly moving closer to the wall. So coming to our straddle position, and you have the option to bend one leg and then go to this opposite side, or you can keep both legs out if you want to feel that stretch on both sides at the same time. So what we're going to do is first lean over towards the left side. So if you want to bend that right foot in towards your hip, you're welcome to do so. It makes the stretch a little bit less intense. So as we inhale, we're scooping the right arm to the ceiling, and maybe with the left hand, we're sliding down the inside of the left leg or scooping it towards the right. Your choice, what feels good for you. But as we exhale, we're reaching the ear towards the knee and trying to reach the right hand towards the toes. So we're looking up towards the ceiling with our head, opening up the chest. So we're feeling that stretch, and you should be really feeling it down the side of your body now. So the right side of our obliques and the back here. Maybe even feeling it down the inside of the left leg as well. So there's a lot going on here, but it's really important to stretch out this part of our backs, especially in splits, because your whole body is all connected. If we're tight in one area, it's likely that we're going to find it difficult through some certain poses. And in splits, as we are crunching and stretching different sides of our back, as well as our legs and hips, it's important to stretch it all out. Good, so we're going to take one more breath where you are. And as we inhale, gently peeling all the way back up, nice and tall. So if your leg was bent, just switch it over by bringing that left leg in. But if your legs were straight, stay where you are. So as we inhale, we're scooping left hand up. Option to slide right hand down the inside of the thigh or scoop it towards the left. As we inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, folding towards the foot. Now we're trying to open up the chest towards the ceiling again. So looking up, the more you can open up, the more intense the stretch is going to be. So if you're not feeling it, try that. If you're already feeling it where you are, maybe looking down, maybe we're really rounding through, fine, stay there. But if you need to go that bit deeper, look towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths, in and out. And again, maybe have a play with pointing and flexing the feet here. What difference does it make to your body? And any other movements you need to explore, do that. One more breath. And as you inhale next, rising up nice and tall and finding any movements you need in your body. Good, so if the legs are still bent, just open them up to a comfortable straddle place for you. Maybe it's just a subtle distance between the legs. Maybe it's quite wide. I'd like you to interlace the fingers, and we're going to do our churning of the mill in each direction. So as we inhale, we scoop towards the left foot, all the way over to the right, and exhale back up. Inhale to the left, all the way to the right, and exhale up. Last one in this direction. And when you're ready, send it the opposite way. So inhale to the right foot, scoop to the left, and back up we go. 2 more. Last one. And release, shake it out. Cool, okay, so we're going to bring the knees in towards us and give ourselves a nice big hug. We're going to have a break from our stretches for the time being. Maybe the forehead's resting on the knees, maybe you're comfortable sitting upright, but just breathe here. And give yourself the time to check in with your body now we've had a few stretches here. Where are you at now? Are you comfortable? Are we feeling like we may need to hold ourselves back just that little bit? Perhaps we've pushed ourselves too much already. So just notice how your body's feeling and listening to what's going on. So we should always be feeling like we are challenging ourselves in some way. And if that's restraining ourselves, that's a challenge too. But we should never be hurting. So just taking the time to notice when you need to. Cool, guys. So when you're ready, rolling all the way over onto all fours. We're coming back to our tabletop position. So just breathing in and we're breathing out, and maybe having a few sways or wiggles or whatever our body's wanting from us now. And then what we're going to do is take the weights over into that right knee as we swing the left foot towards the top of the mat, coming to a little bit of a lunge position here. We're keeping the back knee on the ground. And as we breathe in, you have the option to stay here. Otherwise, take the left hand to the left knee and then slowly lift up nice and tall. Maybe we sink the hips down towards the ground again, and maybe this is where we stay. Maybe we can even bring that back foot in towards our bottom. So slowly reaching the foot towards us. Option to just use the muscles here, really trying to squeeze everything in. So engage the glutes, trying to bring the foot as close to your bottom as you can. And then maybe we take the right hand behind us and try and encourage the foot in closer by using the hands to help. So we're not trying to overstrain or overstretch here, so just naturally going wherever you need to. And maybe it was where we started, right at the beginning. You're going to get that same stretch in the inside of the left thigh. But if you're up here, you're not only getting that stretch on the inside of the thigh, we're also feeling a massive stretch in the quad on our right side too. So just breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. And as you exhale, if the foot is lifted, release it down, take the hands back to the mat. And we're going to come towards our lizard pose from here. So if you want to walk that left foot out towards the left side of the mat that little bit more, please feel free to. If this is where you fancy staying today, stay here. If you want to, you can lower yourself down onto your forearms with the back leg still on the mat. We can come back up onto the hands, maybe tuck the back toes under, and have a go of lifting the back knee up off the mat. Maybe this is where we stay. Maybe from here we lower down onto our forearms. If there's any other variation of lizard pose that you fancy taking today, please feel free to. But I'll let you decide what you want to do. We'll only go with those options for me today, but if you know something else in your body is needed, do it. Good, so you're going to take one more breath. And when you're ready, inhale, bring yourself back up onto the hands, lower the back knee down to the mat. We're going to come to pigeon from here. So slowly heel-toeing the foot all the way over to the right side of the room and lowering that left knee to the middle of the mat. So you can bring the left foot close towards the hips if you want to, or have it so the shins parallel to the top of the mat. Whatever feels better for you, but we're trying to keep those hips nice and square to the ground. I'm very conscious of the fact I've moved literally 30 centimeters during this practice. So maybe we stay here nice and tall. Maybe sitting upright is feeling quite good in the body. But I really want you to focus on those hips being square. Maybe from here we even bend that back knee back towards us so the back foot comes in. Still keeping those hips square. Your choice. What feels good for you today? Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to take 2 more breaths. Good. One more. Nice. Okay, hands either side of that front knee. We're tucking the back toes under, bend into the knee to bring it towards your body a little bit more, and then slide the left foot back to meet it. So we're just swaying here, having a few breaths, checking in with our body and see what's going on. I'd like you to stay there as I just adjust my mat, otherwise I'm going to be hitting the wall in a moment. Good, guys. So from here, when you're ready to, I'd like you to take the weight into that left knee and slowly inhale, scoop the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Again, maybe this is where we choose to stay today. Otherwise, as we inhale, we're sliding the right hand to the right thigh. And inhale, scoop the left hand up overhead. Good. Option here to take the hand down to the either side of the hips, maybe holding onto the hip if you feel good. And maybe we can bend that back knee or back foot in towards our bottom. So we might be having a bit of balance problems here today. And if that's the case, maybe try taking the right foot a little bit wider before you bring the back knee in. So create a bigger, a more stable space. So think of yourself like a tripod here. You want to cover as much ground as you can so your center point can stay upright. Cool. So we're engaging the glutes, we're engaging the leg, and really trying to use our muscles to find that flexibility here. And then when you want to, maybe scooping the left hand behind the back, grabbing onto the foot and seeing if you can sink a little bit deeper and using your muscles in the arms to find that flexibility rather than using the legs. Good, so we're going to take a few more breaths. And again, you might just be at the beginning step, so we're maybe just on the ground with our hands there and we're just chilling out, and that feels amazing for us. Or maybe it feels challenging enough today, and that's where we want to stay. That's fine. One more breath. And if you've got your foot in your hand, release the hand from the foot and lower the hands down to the mat. It's time for lizard to slowly maybe walking that right foot towards the edge of the mat a bit more and sinking the hips down. Maybe this is where we stay. Maybe we lower down onto the forearms again. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe we come back up onto the hands, tuck the back toes under, peel the knee up off the ground, and this is where we choose to stay. Or maybe from here today, we choose to lower down onto the forearms with the back knee lifted. Whatever you do, I'd like you to really notice how it's feeling for you. If there's any other movements you need to throw in or you want to come to a different lizard variation, you're welcome to. If the back knee is lifted, I want you to really feel like the heel's being pushed towards the back of the mat and the crown of the head's reaching forwards. 2 more breaths. Good. As we inhale, let's bring ourselves back up onto those hands if we've lowered down onto the forearms. Drop the back knee to the mat and then slowly see if we can walk the foot all the way to the other side of the mat. And then lower the knee down to the middle and come to pigeon. Again, option to bring the foot all the way close towards your hip or bring the shin parallel to the top of the mat. But we want those hips to be square wherever you are, whatever's going on, however you choose to be. Maybe we stay up nice and tall. Maybe we bend the back knee towards us with the back foot. Maybe again reaching round to grab onto it, which I don't think I gave that option on the other side. But if you fancy doing that, please feel free to. So just breathing in and breathing out and seeing what's happening now. A couple more breaths. Good, we've got a few more stretches and then we're coming towards the end, guys. So just acknowledging your body where it's at. Good. Okay, when you're ready to, we're going to slowly frame that front knee. Tuck the back toes under and peel the knee in closer towards your body. And then slide that right knee to the back, coming to our tabletop again. Shaking it out. Any wiggles you need to do, please feel free to. Good. Okay, we're going to do some stretches on our back before we come to try our splits today. So when you're ready to, walk the hands one way and swing the feet round the opposite way to bring yourself to a lying down position on your back. Good. Hug the knees in towards the chest and draw some circles. Good. Okay. From here, we're going to come to happy baby for the time being. So send the feet nice and high and grab onto either the soles of the feet, the backs of the shins, maybe the backs of the knees. We're just trying to keep our back on the ground and have those legs parallel to the mat. So wherever you need to be to find that. Any movement that feels good for you to do today, please feel free to. It could be the weirdest thing you've ever done in your life, but oh my gosh, it feels amazing. So just do it. Good. One more breath. And when you're ready, exhale, lower the feet all the way down to the mat. Okay, so the next place we're coming to, you have the option to keep one foot flat on the mat or extend the leg nice and long. So that will make more sense in a moment. So we're going to hug that right knee in towards our chest. And maybe this is where we stay. Maybe we already extend that left leg away from us. And again, maybe this is where we stay. Otherwise, grabbing onto the big toe, the back of the shin or the knee again, we're going to slowly extend that leg nice and high. If you're holding onto the knee, I don't want you to hold the back of the knee itself, but maybe the thigh or the calf. So just trying to keep a nice straight leg here. If it's a bit bent, that's fine. We're trying to find that stretch through the back of our leg here. So we're breathing in, we're breathing out. And maybe you are in a place where your leg is literally by your head, and that's awesome if you're already there. If you need to bend into that knee more, that's fine, as long as you're still feeling that stretch. So wherever you're at today, know that that is fine, that is perfect. We're just stretching out and we're helping ourselves get that a little bit closer to the splits. And that's amazing. We're doing more for our body today for the splits than we did yesterday or the day before. So honor your body for where it's at and know that it's awesome. Good. As you exhale, let's slowly bend into that right knee if it's not already. Release the hand and lower the foot down to the mat, maybe nice and long or bent. And any movements you need, let's do it. Good. Okay, we're going to come to it the same way as we did on the other side with the left leg now. So bringing both knees in towards the ceiling, pointing up. Hugging the left knee in towards your chest, and maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you extend that right leg nice and long and decide to stay here instead. Maybe from here we grab onto the calf, the back of the knee area, or all the way grabbing onto the big toe, and we feel the stretch here. So just noticing what's going on this side, how this is feeling. We're just going to breathe in and breathe out for about 3 more breaths. Maybe we're really bent here, maybe we're really stretched. Maybe the leg is all the way towards our head, and if that's the case, again, awesome. If you're really like this, that's also amazing, as long as you are definitely feeling that stretch in the leg or the hip area. So breathing in, we're breathing out. Good. Okie dokie. So as you exhale, I'd like you to slowly lower the leg all the way down, maybe bend through the knee, release the hands, extend the legs nice and long, and give yourself a shake out. Good. Okie dokie. We've got one more stretch on our backs today before moving along. So to start with, I'd like you to bring that right knee in towards your chest again and slowly draw it over towards the left side of the room. Now you can stay here, it's like our supine twist. Otherwise, we're bending into that left knee to wrap it round by our bottom. So our right foot, or left foot, sorry, comes by our bottom. Then taking the right hand and grabbing onto the left foot if it's comfortable for you. So you've created this almost circuit here. So the right knee is now over to the left foot's all the way over to the right, and we're grabbing onto the right knee with our left hand and the left foot with our right hand. It's like opposites here. Good. We're either looking up towards the ceiling or we're looking towards the right side for one more breath. When you're ready, slowly release the hands from the foot and bring the right knee all the way back to center. Release the leg to the mat. Good. Left knee hugs in now. And exhale, draw it over towards the right side. Good. Option to stay here or bend into that right knee to bring the foot towards your bottom. Grab onto it with your left hand. So we're making that circuit again. Again, looking up towards the ceiling or all the way over to the left. And we're just going to breathe here for about 3 more breaths. Good. Just noticing how it's feeling. Last breath. And as you next exhale, release the hand from the foot and slowly bring the knee all the way back to center and extend the legs nice and long. Give yourself a nice big stretch, hands up overhead. And slowly bring the knees back in towards the chest. Draw some circles in wind relieving pose. We're going to come to trying splits in a moment before we cool down too much. Good. So when you're ready to, maybe take a few rocks all the way up to seated, so hugging the knees in and slowly rolling up. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2 or 3 today until you get to a comfy seated position. Good. Okie dokie. So we're going to come to our Baddha Konasana for the time being. Soles of the feet touching, knees nice and wide. Now I'm going to talk to you whilst you're in your Baddha Konasana. You can fold forwards into it if you want to. You can stay up tall like me if you feel like it. Now, you might have already noticed, but I've got a couple of yoga bricks, yoga blocks here today that I will be using to demonstrate. So if you have them yourself, feel free to grab them. Otherwise, you're welcome to use something like a book, a pillow, a few rolled up blankets, some rolled up yoga mats if you've got them, anything at all that you can use that basically creates a bit of space for you between the ground and your hips where you can relax into it a little bit more. And that might make more sense in a moment. And if you fancy pausing the video and coming back, you're welcome to do so. So, when you're ready to, guys, let's bring those knees all the way back to center, and we're going to roll over onto our knees now. So I'd like you to bring yourself towards the middle of the mat, and if you're going to use a brick or a prop in some way, have that nearby too. So to start with, we want to make the most space between the ground and our leg. So, placing it up tall, like so. We're going to come up to a kneeling position, and I'd like you to just take the one leg in front of the other. So for me, I'm going to take my right leg over first, and then I'm going to place my hands on the mat as if we were in our half splits position. Then from here, I'm going to slowly tuck the back toes under and slide the leg back until I come to a position where I'm resting that front leg or hip on the block or whatever you're using. Now, this is essentially splits as it is. You're sinking into it. You're not actually holding yourself up more. This is why we like to use props here, because it really just lets you feel that stretch in that place. And this might be where you stay. Maybe you're on your fingertips. Maybe we're really lifted up like tall, and that's fine to do. But if you're finding this a little bit easy, maybe we can try and create the space or reduce the space between the mat and our legs. So when you're ready, just bend into that front knee again, and then turn the block or whatever you're using to a different place. Take the hands to the mat and try and extend that front leg. And then maybe you stay here. Maybe the knee is bent and the foot's flat. And maybe this is where you choose to stay. So just seeing how it feels. Maybe hands are on the ground. Maybe our hands are on the hips. Maybe we're trying funky things and this is where we stay today. Or maybe we can reduce the space a little bit more. So turning it so the block's a little bit flatter. And then just coming to a place there. Maybe the knee again is bent so that we have the foot on the ground, but we're resting on that block. Maybe we're pointing the feet and the legs extended. Or maybe from here we can completely remove the block or whatever we're using and lower ourselves down. We're trying to keep the hips square. So honor yourself wherever you're at today and see how you feel. Take one more breath if you're there. And inhale, slowly bend into that front knee and send the foot behind you, coming to your tabletop position and have your little sways. Just breathing in, breathing out and seeing what's happening here. And if you stayed quite high, that's fine. If you try going down to the ground, that's fine. But I really want you to just honor your body for where it's at, not forcing yourself there, just seeing how you're feeling. Good. Okay, so let's try the other side. And see how you feel there. If you don't fancy trying the other side today, that's fine. So we're going to start with my block again, placing it in front of us as high as it will go. Kneeling up nice and tall, and then maybe holding onto the wall or the ground to bring the foot round to the front, the opposite one. And then coming to our half splits position, and maybe heel toeing the back foot towards the back of the mat a bit more. And again, we're slowly bringing ourselves to a place where we can lower down onto that block. Just make sure it's in a place that is comfortable for you. Good, so maybe this is where we stay. Maybe hands are on the hips, maybe they're on the ground, whatever's working for you. Maybe you decide you want to come out of it a little bit or lower down a bit more. So come to a place where you can do that. And just seeing what's happening for you in your body. Trying to keep those hips square again. And then maybe we lower down a little bit more. And then maybe a little bit more until we can get rid of the block. And it might be today we're quite high, might be over time we can get lower, but just seeing what's happening for you. Breathing in, breathing out. And when you're ready to come out a bit, hands to the mat, tuck the back toes under, bring the knee in, and then slowly slide the front foot all the way back, coming to our tabletop. Let's bring the big toes to touch, knees nice and wide as we sink the bottom towards the heels, coming to child's pose. Let the head be heavy as you rest on those arms. Any sways you need to do, please feel free to do. If you want stillness, that's fine. We're just breathing in and we're breathing out. Good. Okay, hands come out nice and long. As we inhale, we're peeling all the way back up to our tabletop, but keep the big toes together. As we exhale, we're sinking the bottom towards the right side, sliding it over to the middle, inhale to the left, and all the way back to the top. Good, send it the opposite way, so we exhale down towards the left side, sliding to the middle, over to the right, and inhale back up. Good, back we go, right side, middle, left, and up. Left side, middle, right, and up. One more on each side. Exhale to the right, center, inhale up. Exhale to the left, center, inhale up. Good. And exhale, lower bottom back towards the heels, coming to our child's pose, arms wherever you need them to be comfortable. I'm just going to breathe in and breathe out today. Good. Just noticing where you're at now. What's happening in your body. One more breath. We're going to do a few stretches before finishing today. Nice, guys. Good. So when you're ready, a nice big inhale, bring yourself all the way back up nice and tall. Take the hands one way, swing the feet round the other way, and we're going to come all the way onto our backs now. Good. So we're going to do our figure 4 position or reclined pigeon. Let's take the right ankle, crossing it over the left knee. Right hand through the middle, left hand around the back, interlace the fingers, and let's take 5 deep breaths here today. Breathing in, breathing out. Any movements you need to find, please feel free to. Good. And as you next exhale, slowly releasing the hands from behind the leg, lowering the foot down and switch the legs over. Right foot to the mat, left ankle over the top, left hand through the middle, right hand round the back. Interlace the fingers, bring the knee in towards the chest and feel the stretch however you need to. 4 more breaths on this side. Nice, guys. Maybe it's long, loud exhales like me, or maybe it's really quiet today. 2 more. Nice. When you're ready, exhale, release the hands all the way down to the mat with the foot we go. Uncross the legs and windscreen wiper those knees from side to side. Good. So you have the option to do supine twist here today if you fancy. Otherwise, we're just going to come straight to Supta Baddha Konasana. So I'm going straight to Baddha Konasana. So we've already done a little bit of a supine twist. So soles of the feet touching, knees nice and wide. I'm just going to breathe here today. So if you want to take your Shavasana in this position, you're welcome to. But if you want to take those legs nice and long in our corpse pose, that's fine. If you've opted for a supine twist, just come and join us in the Shavasana when you're ready. Have the eyes closed as you're moving through anything you need to, and then just come and join us and find stillness. So the eyes are closed now as we're breathing in and we're breathing out. Just feeling the balloon in our bellies fill up very gently and then slowly releasing. Soften the eyelids a little bit more if you can. Relax the nose. Relax the mouth. Maybe gently part the lips. Unclench the teeth. And just breathe now. Letting each part of the body that's connected with the ground just begin to feel even stronger, like even more strongly connected to the mat. So sinking that little bit deeper, maybe even forming these imaginary roots all the way down, like a gorgeous tree or a plant, helping you to stay strong and grounded and connected as we're stretching out and releasing however you need to. Again, if you're happy where you are, please feel free to stay there. But if you need to adjust yourself in any way, know that you're more than welcome to. So just breathing in, we're breathing out and seeing if we can melt that a little bit more. And maybe today we choose to just focus on this, just the melting sensation in our breath. Or perhaps today we can reflect on our practice. I'd like you to focus or find one amazing thing that happened for you in your practice today. It could be a really subtle or a movement that you know you love. Or it could be complicated. It could be that you tried your hardest today and that was amazing. It could be that you managed to achieve something you didn't think you would. Maybe it was just that you made the time for yourself to arrive at your mat today and you gave yourself a practice that maybe you felt you really needed. Whatever it is, let's just take a few more breaths to really tune in and notice something, at least one thing that we're grateful for in our practice today. Good. Lovely. So when you're ready to, with the eyes still closed, I'd like you to take a few deep breaths in through the nose, really filling up that balloon in your belly and slowly releasing. And then from here, we're slowly bringing some movement into our bodies, so wiggling the fingertips and the toes. The wiggles get bigger and bigger until they spread up the legs, up the arms, up the torso, the shoulders, the neck, the face, until your whole body's moving in a way that feels good for you today. And when you feel like you've wiggled as much as you need to, slowly rolling over to your right hand side and creating a little pillow for your head with your hands. Just breathing in and breathing out. And when you're ready to, with your eyes still closed, slowly walk yourself up to your seated position today. Take a nice deep breath in and a long slow breath out. And slowly bring your hands to heart center in prayer. When you're ready to, rub the hands together, create your friction today, and when they're super duper warm and about to start our fire, let's part them and place them over our closed eyelids. Allow that heat from our hands to warm up our eyes and slowly blink them open. Part the fingertips to let some more light in, and when they've adjusted, exhale hands to heart center in prayer. Thank you very much for coming and joining me for our flexibility splits session today. It was a little bit longer than our other practices, but when it's flexibility focused, it's so important that we warm up and we stretch in a way that feels good. So I hope you feel amazing. And as always, eat well, drink well, and sleep well. Namaste.